Pittsburgh.
Last night's perfect spring evening for Pirates-Cubs baseball in the Berg grew even more pleasant as Charlie Morton put an exclamation point on the great weather with his best start of 2010, limiting Chicago's Northsiders to 2 runs in 6 innings. A performance well worthy of appreciation from the fans at PNC and his teammates. Brian Burris clipped his locks prior to his last start, then scissored through a tough Dodger lineup for his first Pirate win Thursday in L.A. Tonight, Burris and the Bucks go for the sweep of the Cubs. It's all next on FSN Pittsburgh. Welcome to the north side of the corner of General Robinson and Mazeroski Way, PNC Park, where it's a T-shirt Thursday. And those Buccos fans getting a new addition to their wardrobe. Pirates trying to break out the brooms tonight against the Cubs and looking to take Game 3 of this 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. Along with Bob Walk, I'm Tim Never. So glad you're watching Pirates baseball with us. A couple of guys providing some offense for the Bucks after their win last night. Ryan Church doing it again, 2 home runs in 2 nights. And Garrett Jones, his average might not be where he wants it, but he still continues to drive in runs.
Yeah, Garrett, he has gotten off to a slow start, home runs and average. But as you said, the RBIs are coming. He's got 17 on the year. You know, that's nothing to write home about, but it's not too bad considering the team hasn't been scoring too many runs. And Ryan Church, he's been put into that lineup really trying to give the team a little bit of a spark, try to get this offense going better than they were earlier in the month. And he's provided that. 2 home runs last 2 nights. He's going to be out there for a while. He keeps doing that.
Church back in the lineup tonight in right field. Jones at first. Millage and Iwamura also back in the lineup. Brian Burris will get the ball for the Pirates. He hopes to repeat what he did in Los Angeles.
Yeah, you know, that 5 spot in the rotation, it's wide open right now, and he knows that. He's trying to grab it for himself, and you know, holding the Dodgers scoreless was great. You know, fantastic work. He's got to back that up with a good one now tonight, and then he really gets a leg up on everybody else.
He'll face Randy Wells, a guy the Cubs almost lost to the Rule 5 draft to Toronto. Toronto gave him back. Cubs are glad they did. He had a terrific rookie season last year, and he has not lost against the Pirates.
Yeah, you look at the road numbers, outstanding. 2-0 versus the Pirates. That means he's going to lose tonight.
You hope you're right. We all do. Garrett Jones mic'd up tonight. Mr. Jones strikes up a conversation. Pirates and Cubs coming up. 5-game hitting streak, 4 runs batted in during that time. The X-Man, Xavier Nady, is in right field. Ramos Ramirez, Soriano, Soto, Baker, and Wells wraps it up.
I take a look now at Burris's numbers. The big numbers that he's thinking about right now, though, is his last start, that first win. He did very well, held the Dodgers off the scoreboard for 5 1/3. Only gave up 4 hits in that game against the Dodgers, as he combined with a couple of his bullpen buddies to shut him out. Pirates, I think they won that game 2-0, didn't they? The Burris start.
They did.
First win in the big leagues in a couple of years. But he is looking to build upon that. He knows that that number 5 spot is open for somebody to grab a hold of it. And if he has 2 good games in a row, you stay there. It's as simple as that. You just keep pitching well. It's your job.
And Ross Ollendorf had a good rehab outing with Altoona last night, and John Russell saying this afternoon that he is on track to start Monday, perhaps, against the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much a slam dunk. I was looking at his numbers. He was fabulous last night. I know it was a minor league rehab start, but I think he had 7 strikeouts through 6 innings and 59 pitches.
He was very good.
Wow.
And so when you get Ollendorf back and a healthy Ross Ollendorf, and if you get more of what you saw from Charlie Morton last night,
things start to come together. This is the starting rotation we kind of were thinking about in January when we were over across the river at Pirate Fest. Thinking about what could be this year.
Terrio bangs that one down to the ropes, one away.
And if you get a normal Duke, Mahala, and get Ollendorf, Morris pitching the way they're capable of, that's 4 pretty good starters.
Let's take a look at the rest of the Pirate defense. In the outfield, Lastings Millage back out there in left. Ryan Church in right field tonight. Ronnie Cedeno doing a pretty good job with the glove. Aki Ramora back at second tonight. Dolman catching Brian Burris. Now Burris will face Marlon Byrd. Bird's put up some good numbers. 343, the average. 5 home runs, 19 runs batted in. He hit in the cleanup spot last night, hitting number 2 tonight.
Now all of their hitters aren't clicking right now, but they're all capable of hitting very well. And basically, I'm talking about their right-hand hitters. I mean, this is a tough lineup for a left-hand pitcher.
Scrambles the far end of the Bucs dugout. And Paul Maholm.
Derek Lee on deck. He's off to a slow start, but he is always one of the better hitters in the league. Nady, Ramirez, Soriano. Those are the 3 after him.
Ground ball to short. Nice hop for Cedeno. 2 down. 2 out quickly for Brian Burris in the top of the first. Garrett Jones at first base. He is wearing a wire tonight, so we'll be checking in with Garrett Jones from time to time and just give you a real insider's view of what it's like on the diamond at first base tonight.
I like having a first baseman mic'd up. There's a lot of opportunity to hear the conversations over there around first base with the other team.
I hope there's not too many, though.
Yeah, we don't want it to happen an awful lot, I guess. But that's where all the talking goes on first base. A first baseman's kind of like a bartender or a barber. He talks to everybody.
1-1. That's a good-looking pitch on the inside corner. Mark Wegner calling the balls and strikes tonight. Dan Iassogna at first. Dale Scott at second. Jerry Meals back at third. 1-2 pitch. A little bit low. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Derek Lee. Lee originally property of the San Diego Padres. Down to Florida, then over to Chicago. He's been a fixture in the Cubs infield. 2-2. Foul ball to right.
Good two-way player. Excellent on offense and a superior glove man over at first base.
Two outs, nobody on top of the first, and Brian Burris trying to get Derek Lee. And he does. Strike three. 3 up and 3 down in the top of the first. An auspicious beginning for the Pirates southpaw.
It's pretty good. I thought he was always a good hitter. Let's go. Come on. Score first.
Taking you from the field to the dugout, Garrett Jones mic'd up tonight. Aki Umura will lead off against right-hander Randy Wells. Pretty good start for Brian Burris, getting the Cubs in order.
How about Aki in batting practice today? We were watching him. He had a couple of balls over everything. Got him out over the right field stands. I'm sure they rolled down the hill and got wet in the river.
Yeah, he was banging them out over the Clemente wall. I thought it was home run practice, not batting practice. But Aki's got some pop in his bat, and he showed it this afternoon. I'd like to have it translate into the game at some point. He's got 2 home runs on the year, but lately the hits haven't been coming. His on-base percentage pretty good. Had the night off predominantly last night. Did pinch hit, 1 0 for 1. And he walks on 4 pitches. Let's take a look at the rest of John Russell's lineup tonight. Facing the Cubs, Aki just walked. Andy LaRoche coming to the plate. He's raised his average all the way up to 329 from 222. McCutchen, Jones, Doman, Church, Millage back in the lineup. Cedeno in the 8th spot, and Burris batting 9th. First pitch to LaRoche misses, and that's 5 straight balls issued by Randy Wells to start the game.
We'll take a look at Wells' numbers to start the year. Not too bad. His real good numbers are on the road, as we talked about in our open. And excellent numbers in his short career versus the Pirates, which all that translates into a L tonight.
You had it figured out before you even arrived at the ballpark.
You know, it's baseball. One of John Wayner's favorite sayings, round ball, round bat. Well, that's going to happen tonight. Everything always evens out. He's going to have a rough road start. There we go. 1.42 the road ERA in 3 starts.
That may get inflated tonight.
Well, it is. If he's just going to walk everybody, it's going to get inflated fast.
Well, 7 straight balls to start the game by Randy Wells. Think Andy's going to take here?
Yes. I think he is.
And 8 straight balls to start the game. Take a look at our Barrel Automotive League leader stat, walks per 9 innings. How about Randy Wells? He's just behind Roy Halladay on the list. Jamie Moyer, Tim Lincecum, Rodrigo Lopez, some good names and good performers. And Randy Wells doing the opposite here tonight.
He's saying something about the mound right now, I believe, and looking down at it.
Barrel Automotive, definitely worth the click. Log on to barrel.com. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, quickly out. That may be the quickest we've seen a pitching coach come out this year after only 2 batters and 8 pitches. Behind Randy Wells, in the outfield, left to right, Soriano, Bird, and Nady makes his 10th start of the year. Ramirez, Terrio, Baker playing second base tonight. Derek Lee at first. And Giovanni Soto is behind the plate. Coy Hill caught last night. Well, good spot for Andrew McCutchen. 2 on and nobody out. And Randy Wells has yet to throw a strike in the game. Right-hander delivers. And there is his first strike.
Taking all the way. No chance he's going to swing at that.
Well, McCutchen is ready. 2 out of 4 in the series. Had a couple of hits last night, including a run scoring double in the third. 1-1. Well, as we have Garrett Jones mic'd up, you heard him as we came back from the break telling his teammates, let's score first. Pirates are in position to do so right now.
Hey, let's score more than 1. That would be nice.
Swinging strike, 1-2.
Hopefully Wells has opened up a little can of worms with leadoff walks and first 2 hitters.
Pirates have to take advantage of the gift they've been given to start the game.
Yeah, well, what happens? Somebody has to come up with a big hit. And by a big hit, I mean a gap shot or hit one down a line. Extra base hit right now. Then that creates the big inning. You need somebody to drive a ball. I mean, over the fence, that would be great, obviously. But just to, down the line or get one through a gap.
And the count is full. 3-2 to Andrew McCutchen. So he's sitting pretty, looking for a good pitch from Randy Wells.
2-1 strikes to balls. You don't see that very often.
Payoff pitch. And this one through the hole to left side. That's a base hit. They're going to wave around Iwamura. He will score an RBI for McCutchen, and the Pirates on the board first. It's 1-0.
Well, if you're going to get just a single in that situation, that was a perfect one. It's not hit very hard off the end of the bat, and when it gets the outfield grass, just rolls to a stop. No way they could do anything about Aki scoring. Aki just about gets to the plate before Soriano can pick up the ball. That was a well-placed ground ball. That's the definition of one right there. All right. Okay, now let's get the extra base hit.
Here's Garrett Jones. Drove in 2 last night. He's behind 0-1. This is the kind of situation that Jones hopes for. A couple of guys on.
His double last night, he cranked one down in the right field corner. Take that right now.
1-1.
Garrett's going to be looking here pretty soon to hit some more home runs. He's got 4, and you think, well, okay, that's not bad, but 3 of those came the first 5 at bats.
This one down the left field side, but foul. And Safe Auto Insurance reminds you that you are safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. Andrew McCutchen getting the Pirates on the board with an RBI single. Scoring Aki Iwamura. Oroch at second, McCutchen at first, and a 1-2 pitch coming to Garrett Jones. And this one is going to get down for a single. Oroch is going to get waved in. Soriano makes a throw. It's offline, and the Pirates lead it 2-0. Another RBI for Jones, his 18th.
I thought because there was nobody out that Beazer might throw up the stop sign there, but Soriano just not a very good defensive player and does not make a strong throw home. Hey, I think normally if you got an outfielder that can throw it all, as he gets to the ball even before LaRoche got the third, with nobody out, you stop him. But Soriano throwing a sidearm rainbow to the plate, late and offline.
Ryan Domit 2 on and nobody out.
Like your third base coach, they know before the game starts who they're going to run on, who they're not. And I'm sure Tony has gone into this series, thinking if it's at all iffy, I'm keeping the windmill going if the ball's hit Soriano.
0-1 to Domit. And the pitch. 1-1. Pirates have been plating runs early. 7 of the last 8 games. They've been on the board early. And this is the type of inning, Bob, that, again, we talked about it when the 2 walks were issued. Now they've cashed in 2 runs, but they've got to cash in as much as possible. The 2-1 pitch coming from Wells. Well, it's 2-2. Ryan Domit had a good hitting streak going while he was on the road. Ended on Sunday in Los Angeles. 10-game hitting streak. Ended up going 0 for 4 that day. And he's trying to start something new. Had a couple of real big hits on the road trip in Milwaukee. Grand slam, the second career grand slam. And there's one hit well to right field. That one's going to go off the wall. McCutchen had to hold up. He's going to come around third. Jones will be held at third. It's 3-0 Pirates.
Yeah, there's the big hit. It was provided by Domit. 3 runs on the board, and the can of worms is totally open now.
Xavier Nady held his glove up. And watch McCutchen and Jones both hold up.
That was a good job by Nady, and there you can see the reaction of Andrew. But with Andrew's speed, especially with nobody out, he can afford to be very conservative. And he doesn't have to take any chances. So he saw Nady's glove, and so he wasn't going to go too far away from second base.
Ryan Church takes a strike. 14 career games in the city of Pittsburgh. Church is hitting .341 with 11 runs batted in. Homered in each of the last 2 games. This one is a foul ball. First base umpire Dan Iasonia right on top of it. And that would have been 2 runs had that ball just been an inch or 2 to the left. And already activity in the Cubs pen. Jeff Gray is up.
That one's very close. Watch this ball. Immediately, I think that ball just barely got by the bag, and you could see him start pointing foul. And that's what you want out of an umpire. You got to be decisive immediately.
Nobody out, second and third. And here comes the 0-2. Struck him out.
If you see an umpire taking his time, to me it's like, well, he's thinking about it. He's not sure. He doesn't know. But when you see him make the call immediately, at least in their mind, they know what they saw. Nice job.
Lastings Millage. He's a guy who needs to get a long hit one of these days, and he will. He's the only regular player without a home run. And he'll hit with the infield drawn in and 1 out. Chance here for Millage if he can hit a flare somewhere, maybe a gap shot. Left center field's got a big gap. Soriano playing over toward the line and left. Center fielder Bird playing Millage straight away. This one ripped down the line. That's a fair ball. Jones will score. Domit around third. He'll score. Around first and into second with a 2-run double is Lastings Millage.
Now that is absolutely perfect. You want to have in an inning like this, you got a chance to kick the door open. You don't want to pass it up. You needed the one more hit to really put a cap on the inning, and Millage comes through. Now we're still got something going, of course, but now it's just no frosting on the cake. Anything that comes after this.
You can add on, but what a nice inning this has been.
Oh, yeah.
Couple of big hits, and Milledge with that one there.
What did Garrett say earlier?
Score first.
Score first, baby.
An eyewitness account. Well, here comes Ronnie Cedeno. And he will hit one pretty well to left, but it'll hang up for Soriano. 2 down. And Brian Burris, 9th man to hit here in the bottom of the first. Did you get to battle out in the first inning when you were starting?
Didn't happen very often, but when it did at the time, I liked it. The results weren't always great.
Didn't that happen once in Philly?
Yeah, that did. Got 2 RBIs in the first inning.
Didn't stand up, as I recall.
No.
Burris toward the middle.
Get it.
Baker with a nice backhanded play. He throws him out. Baker saved another run, but the Bucks plate 5 off of Randy Wells. Big first for the Pirates.
Change up late, man. It's like hang, and then just drops late. You're up. Swing. Okay.
Good stuff from Garrett Jones. Pirates with a 5-0 lead. Jones an RBI single, McCutchen an RBI single, RBI doubles from Domet and Milledge.
A real nice shot of Garrett when he was coming around second base, and he held up and he was looking to make sure that McCutchen rounded third and went home. Didn't want to run him off third base. He ran with his head up. A lot of guys, they just put their head down, take off. They know, okay, I'm at first base. They hit a double, I'm going to third. And then they don't realize that something is happening in front of them that prevents them from going there, and you get 2 guys on one base. You got to be aware of your situation. Run with your head up.
Former Pirate Xavier Nady now with the Cubs after his year with the Yankees. He's a slow roller. It'll be a tough play. And LaRoche gets him. Another good defensive play by Andy LaRoche.
Yeah, Andy's he's turned into just a top-notch third baseman. No chances. Went with the glove. He knows Xavier is not a speed burner going down that line. So he had enough time to go to the leather.
Aramis Ramirez takes the ball. This winter, Tony Beasley and the Pirates Caravan were having a conversation about strong-armed infielders and who the strongest arm infielder we thought was in the National League. And I said it was Troy Tulowitzki, Colorado. He's got a cannon for an arm. And he said that he thought Andy LaRoche's arm was just as powerful. This one up in the air to shallow right. Aki calling for it, backpedaling. And Church comes in and calls him off for the out. Fans, you can celebrate Mother's Day at PNC Park this Sunday when the Pirates host the Redbirds. All kids 14 and under and moms will receive a Zach Duke jersey strap bag, courtesy of Dick's Sporting Goods. There'll be the Family Fun Zone pregame on Federal Street. Kids get to run the bases postgame. That's brought to you by HK Pretzels. To get tickets to this or any Sunday game, visit Pirates.com. You'd look good in one of those, Bob.
Nah, I'm probably going to pass up the back. But I'm sure it'll be a very popular item.
Match your shirt tonight.
Yep, yes it would.
0-1 to Soriano. We were talking about infield arms, and he said that Andy's arm is deceivingly powerful at third base. And
I think you've got an idea for an all-star game skills competition.
Yeah.
Let's find out exactly who does have the big arm. You could do it with outfielders, do it with the infielders, set up a target over at first base. You got to be able to hit the target. And just a little flick of the wrist shoots them down. You make the throw, say, from deep short. And, it doesn't count if you miss the target. Get a radar gun out there. I don't want to have like 3 throws.
Did not go. You like that idea? Huh?
Yeah, and do the same thing for the outfield.
Think the players union will like that idea?
They get a cut, yeah.
He did not go.
I don't know. I would have wanted that one. That bat came out there over the plate.
Soriano had homered in 4 straight games. He'd never done that in his career. And last night held without one. They've been on a tear. And those numbers bear that out over the last 10 games. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Alfonso Soriano. And Burris pitch. McCutchen on the run. He's not going to get it. Soriano will pull into second with a 2-out double.
I remember the first time I saw Soriano play. It was a little skinny kid coming over with the Yankees. Play us in spring training, playing shortstop of all things. But he was blocked in New York at shortstop, obviously.
Yeah, Derek Jeter's pretty good.
Yeah, so he was traded on, became a second baseman, right, in Texas.
Yep.
He played second there and ended up finally having to move to the outfield. He's never really been a plus on defense, but he's got the big bat, so they always find a place for you.
It was a reluctant move for him when he was with the Washington Nationals. They wanted to move him out, and he didn't want to go. And eventually relented, and it's worked out for him. Learned to like it out there. But an all-star at second base, he felt that he should be a second baseman.
Well, he's an all-star second, not because of his glove.
Because
it was because he could hit.
That's right.
Yeah, he could mash. So
2 balls, no strikes now to Giovanni Soto.
it's tougher, to make the All-Star team as an outfielder. That's the toughest position there is to make it. There are so many good offensive outfielders. Whereas a middle infielder, as a second baseman, as you just mentioned, I mean, that cuts your competition down quite a bit.
3-0 as Burris gets behind on Giovanni Soto. Cub catcher. There's Soriano. He has his ups and he has his downs. And when he's up, he's very, very good. And when he's down, he's not that good. There's ball 4. Now runners at first and second. First walk issued by Brian Burris.
None of that. You got a 5-0 lead. I mean, it's just Boom, 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 right down the middle if you have to. Everybody has to hit. No walks.
Jeff Baker, the second baseman. Jeff's been a versatile infielder in the big leagues. Played second, short, third. He's played left field, right field. He can fill a hole for you. Good bench piece for the Cubs. Mike Fontenot started at second base last night. He's a left-handed hitter. And after Burris misses, now Joe Kerrigan will come out. So Baker in there tonight, the right-handed hitter against the lefty Burris. Joe Kerrigan probably had some good conversations with last night's starting pitcher, Charlie Morton. And the good word. Charlie talked about working through adversity. These guys have been unbelievable. They've been through a lot early on. We came back here, kind of hit the rest button a little bit. We know that we can win ball games. It's just going out there, being relaxed, and playing aggressive. And Charlie was aggressive with the fastball last night.
Yeah, he really did do a nice job of throwing a ton of strikes with everything.
Strike called.
You know, I think it's really going to be a game that he can look at and say, okay, this is what I did well. I was unafraid. I went right at the hitters. I threw a lot of strikes with all my pitches. We didn't see any curveballs bouncing out on the edge of the grass. It was fabulous.
One to Baker.
And that's what Burris needs to do. Unafraid. Go after the strike zone. And I'm sure that was the message that Joe was delivering. It was like, hey, look at the scoreboard. You're up by 5. You got to go at these guys.
And that gets away, and this is going to be trouble. Domet can't find it. Now he's got it.
A pass ball, I think. I don't believe that ball was in the dirt.
May have gone off his shin guard.
I don't know if he was crossed up on it, expecting something else. But, yeah, that ball just hit him right in the shin guard.
Oh.
And Burris pointing it out, telling him where it was.
Two men are out, and Burris trying to get the Bucks back to the plate. After they scored 5 in the bottom of the first. The Cubs now with a 2-out threat. 2-1 pitch. And Baker to center field. Here comes McCutchen. He'll handle it. And the Cubs will strand 2. outstanding work. And the last time the Pirates swept the Cubs. They've won the first 2 in this series and lead 5-0 as we go to the bottom half of the second. That's our PNC achievement, brought to you by PNC for the achiever in us all. And Iwamura safe at first. Derek Lee says he tagged him. Dan Iassogna, the umpire, says no.
Well, I think he did tag him, but I think what the first base umpire is saying, you tagged him when he had his foot on the bag. So that doesn't matter.
Here comes Lou Piniella. He'll have more than a word with Dan Iassogna.
Lou, one of the...
They just kind of left Lou there, didn't he?
He's kind of one of the legendary arguers in the game. Not much to say, kind of quiet. I thought maybe this one might set him off as he's perhaps about to be swept. Yeah, I think he tagged him, but the foot probably on the bag. It's hard to tell there. Definitely tagged him. Bang, bang play.
Iwamura has reached twice now, and here is Andy LaRoche. Andy walked and scored in the first. By the way, the 5 runs the Pirates put on the board last inning, it's the first time since they scored 5 in the first since a game against the Houston Astros September 20th, 2008. Two and 0. Back in mid-April, Andy started to experience some back problems. Missed 6 games with back spasms. Really almost 7. Came out in the second inning of a game in Cincinnati and then missed the next 6 after that. So in 16 games played in April, he hit .333. He has now reached base safely in 17 of his first 21 games. Starting at third, a little tap of foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Whenever he gets in a slump from now on, he's going to have somebody like give him a couple shots in the back, a kidney punch or something. Because apparently that's what works. Sore back is good for him.
He's been consistent. And he's been getting it done with the glove, too. It's really nice to watch him play so well at the corner. Payoff pitch. Iwamura on the run. That is high ball 4. It's inconsequential. So LaRoche walked for the second time in as many innings. And for the second time in as many innings, the Pirates have runners at first and second with nobody out for Andrew McCutchen.
Like a replay of that first inning right now. Same situation. Now right here, need Andrew to ground ball single to the left.
And a bunt. They will go to first base and get McCutchen. Wells throws there, and now runners at second and third with 1 out. How about Garrett Jones?
The change is pretty nasty. Is it? When you see the heater, it's like a change. It's like hanger, and then all of a sudden falls off the table. Church. All right, baby. Let's go. 5 more.
Well, he certainly could help right here. Garrett Jones mic'd up tonight.
A couple more ducks on the pond. Go get them right now. Nothing more than a single. Give us a nice, comfortable lead. Not that it's not pretty comfortable right now.
That's the second reliever Lou Piniella has had up in the game. So James Russell up. He had Jeff Gray, a right-hander, in the first inning when Randy Wells got into trouble. And now Lou sends the left-hander out to start warming. So the bullpen busy in the first and now the second inning for the Cubs. Garrett Jones facing Randy Wells, the 1-1 pitch.
That's the one he wanted to hit. That ball definitely just hung right out there for him. He won't be happy when he sees that one on tape.
He's got 1 run batted in already. Here comes the infield in. 1-2. And this one roped to right field and down the line. That's going to bring them both in. Hockey scores. Andy scores. 2 more runs batted in for Garrett Jones. It is 7-0 Bucks.
I give him 20 on the year. Nice round number. Just the first week of May. Maybe a breaking pitch that just didn't really get down, about mid-thigh. Cracked down the corner. That looked a lot like the double he hit in last night's game. They pulled down in the corner by the gas pump.
Ryan Doumit takes ball low. Doumit with an RBI double in the first. Also scored a run.
Yeah, Doumit with really the clutch hit of that inning. Needed somebody to go extra bases to really break things open, and Doumit did it.
Baker, jump throw gets Doumit, but that moves Jones up 90 feet. They're now 2 down. Baker showing some good range here.
Yeah, you can get a good look at it. I like the center field camera shot. It really does show the middle infielders how far they have to go to the ball. Not center field, behind the plate shot, looking out at center field. The center field view.
We get it both ways, from center field in and then from home plate out.
Coming and going.
But that doesn't even need a human to operate it. That one does.
The one up on the screen, the RoboCam, that's obviously the one we're looking out at the middle infielders.
Derek Lee will step on first to retire Ryan Church. 2 more runs in. Garrett Jones, a 2-run double. ties the Major League Baseball record with 20 strikeouts in a 9-inning game against the Astros. Wood ties the record set by Roger Clemens in 1986 and matched again in 1996. That's our This Day in Baseball History. Thank you to Day Automotive. Clemens did it against Seattle. So Chad Tracy will enter and hit here in the top of the third.
Not surprising. Down by 7 already. Wells just not fooling anybody, not throwing enough strikes, big walks, and he's done.
47 pitches for Randy Wells, 27 of them for strikes. 1-1 pitch to second base. And Tracy is gone. Let's take a look back at that Kerry Wood 20 strikeout performance. Watch for the first pitch. Well, the first pitch was...
he was throwing hard that day, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was throwing real hard. Let's see, what number are we up to now? It'll be 15, 16, 7. He's up there.
Look at those.
That was a little ahead.
Those breaking balls.
Unbelievable work by Kerry Wood.
I can remember watching the last 3 innings of that game in the clubhouse over at Three Rivers. It was obviously the whole team kind of gathering around the TV.
Terry off the glove of Jones to right.
Almost got to that. Well, he couldn't catch it. Nobody could. Does he go 6'5"?
He's big and he can jump.
Yeah, for his size, he's extremely athletic. We've talked quite a bit over the last season how well he can run.
Ryan Terrio's 42nd hit. That leads the National League.
Like when we first saw him last year in spring training, that's the thing that you notice most off the bat is that you see him, this big man, and watch him go from first to third. And it was like, hey, look at that guy. He has big, long legs, and he can move. And he got everybody's attention right away.
Bird skies this one to left. Millage takes the catch and guns it to second base. And there are now 2 away.
Belt high, middle half. Bird, I think at first might have thought he hit it better than that, but after it took about maybe a step or two, he realized it wasn't going to go anywhere.
Derek Lee struck out swinging in the first.
Right now, Burris with this huge lead, he really can afford to throw pitches like that here. How far can you hit it? Because most of the time, the guys aren't going to pop them up. I mean, you watch batting practice. How many balls are just hit straight up in the screen or ground ball at somebody? It's great to pitch with a big lead. Makes things so easy for you as far as the strike zone where you're trying to throw the ball. You don't have to be ever afraid that someone's going to hit a ball hard. Who cares? You hit one over the top of the Clemente Bridge right now. No big deal.
It's only 2 runs.
Yeah. And it's something you could talk about for a long time. I threw an 800-foot home run.
1-0 to Derek Lee. Line drive at Millage. He's got it. And the Cubs strand another. They're through 2.5 at PNC Park. Bucks lead at 7-0. Cubs' new hurler is Jeff Gray.
Gray's got kind of a, one of those jobs that you really don't like. Come into a game that's out of hand like this. Even if you put up a bunch of zeros, say you pitch 3 shutout innings, you're getting bad, beat bad. It's like, does anyone notice? It's kind of like just try and get the game into the last 3 innings.
You got to come out and do your work.
Yeah.
Lastings Millage had a big hit in the first inning. He drove in 2 with a double down the left field line. 1 for 1. Slow roller to second. Baker throws him out. And there's 1 away. Saturday on Inside Pirates Baseball, see why exciting walk-off victories are becoming a commonplace in Pittsburgh this season. Plus, hear what John Russell did as a player to one of the all-time great saves leaders. It's all Inside Pirates Baseball, Saturday at 6, only on FSN. And we're bringing you Inside Pirates Baseball tonight with Garrett Jones mic'd up, giving some great stuff at the plate, in the field, in the dugout. 1 to Cedeno. Now it's 0-2. Ronnie flied out to Soriano in left field in the first inning.
A couple of hits in last night's game. He's tearing it up for a while there.
He might have a chance. And he's got a base hit. Infield single for Cedeno.
First couple of weeks of the season, he came out really hot. And just kind of went to a terrible slump in that last road trip. Showing his quickness, turning this little chopper into a base hit. By the bag by a step and a half.
Third baseman Aramis Ramirez way in on the grass for the bunting Brian Burris. He bunts it down the first base side. Good bunt by Burris. Lee throws him out with Baker covering, and down to second safely on the sacrifice is Ronnie Cedeno.
Burris, after he puts his ball down here, you see a very nice bunt. He wants to go down the first base line because Lee has to stay back. And Lee has to come all the way from holding the runner on to make that play. I was about to say, Burris runs down the line pretty well, too.
He moves.
He put a little pressure on Lee. If Lee had the double clutch or anything picking that ball up, he was going to be safe.
He slaps that one out of play for strike one.
The sacrifice bunt, to me, I've said this many times over the years, it's all about direction. If you're going to be successful or not. Because there's one guy charging and one guy staying back. And depending on, if you're trying to bunt a guy to third or second, see the third baseman will stay back or the first baseman. You know who it is. So you bunt the ball to the other guy. You don't ever have to worry about killing the ball and just leaving it out there with the perfect speed or any of that. Even a first baseman as good and as active as Lee had no choice but to go to first base with that ball.
He takes high, 2-1. Ewan Moore looking for his first hit of this series. Hockey back in the starting lineup. Bobby Crosby started at second base last night for the Pirates. As Ewan Moore back in there tonight, back at the leadoff spot. Cedeno in scoring position, 2 outs. Gray's 2-1. That's 2-2. Here's our man with the wire getting a little snack. I wonder what that sounds like to the guys in the truck.
I hear that a lot on the road.
2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Outside, count is full. Yeah, but the chewing they hear when we're on the road comes from one of the announcers. Who's not here tonight. You can figure out who it is. Just got a healthy appetite.
Yep.
John does. 3-2, 2 outs. And a pitch. Hockey to left field, right at Soriano. And the Pirates will strand one runner. It's not Steve, it's not Craig, it's not me, and it's not you. 7-0 Pirates.
Yeah, he's swinging it good, man. I think Andy he was struggling early then. I think he had like 2 4-for-4 games in a row. Andy, yeah. And then he's just been 2 hits every day.
See, I told you, it's like a barbershop over there. You know, the first base bag is just talk all the time.
Mr. Jones and me. Xavier Nady takes strike 2. And Nady grounded out to Andy LaRoche at second base in the second inning. And Andy made a nice play on a weakly hit dribbler to charge it, come up, throw sidearm, and just get Nady by a step. One ball, 2 strikes. This one fouled off. Two. As Burris gets set to deliver to Xavier Nady. Nady elbow trouble last year. Did he go? They want an appeal. And Sonia says no. And remember last year, there were high hopes for him with the Yankees, but ended up having Tommy John surgery on the 8th of July last year. There's strike 3 as Brian Burris freezes Xavier Nady for the out.
You know, Burris really does good work with that big curveball of his. One of his best weapons. He just brings it right in the back door.
Knock, knock, you're out.
Yep. Nady, no discussion at all. He knew it.
Right back in that strike zone. Burris very aggressive to the mitt.
All night long. That's job one. Just throw strikes. If they're going to do anything in this game, they have to do it with the bats. Don't get many help.
Talking about throwing strikes, let's give you our AT&T trivia question. Brought to you by AT&T Mobility. Rethink possible. Making strike throwers here. Who holds the Pirates' all-time record for most strikeouts in a game? Again, this was the anniversary in 1998 when Kerry Wood of the Cubs, then a rookie, tied the major league record of 20 strikeouts in a 9-inning game. Here's the Pirates guy. 2 outs for Soriano. He takes a strike at the knees.
I don't know. That's a good question tonight. I like it.
Well, if it was you, you'd have jumped on the answer right away. So that eliminates one.
I guarantee you it wasn't me.
Strike 2.
Unless the pitcher hit a dozen times or so that game, I wasn't going to be up there. I could get the pitcher. That's another reason I love the American or the National League.
Your strikeout totals are higher.
I know I could get at least 2 strikeouts every night.
And Soriano strikes out.
Good curveball again.
2 strikeouts in the inning for Brian Burris. Of the 4th inning at PNC Park, LaRoche, McCutchen, and Jones to face Gray. And Gray delivers strike 1. Well, Garrett Jones last inning gave Ryan Terrio the scouting report on Andy LaRoche. If you happen to tune in late, you missed the conversation at first base about Andy. Terrio asking about LaRoche, and Garrett Jones saying that, yeah, he struggled a little bit, then had a couple of.
Did it go 4 for 4 2 games in a row?
I don't think it was 2 games in a row. I think it might have been 2 out of 3 with a 3 for something mixed in. And LaRoche hammers this one.
Maybe. No, it's going to be fun.
Just hooks. Well, he had a 4 for 5 game against the Brewers on the 27th. And he had a 3 for game the night before. And a 4 for 4 game the 25th. So 25th, 26th, 27th. Pretty good days for Andy LaRoche at the plate.
Yeah, I think Garrett Jones could.
And 11 hits.
He has a future as an analyst, color guy. He's not letting the facts get in the way of good stories.
That's good. And aboard is LaRoche. Ryan Terrio couldn't play the easy ground ball.
Just a little chopper. He's thinking about how hot LaRoche is, and even when he hits a routine ground ball, we can't get him out. Wait, he let this ball play him or not? Look at him set up shop there. Watching the replay, to me, he had time to get closer to that last bounce. Instead of taking the in-between hop, he could have moved forward and took a short hop. Which, if it's a bad hop, if you get your glove right next to where it's bouncing, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to go right in your glove. But if you get that in-between hop, and it moves on you, you're going to take it off the body like you did.
Strike 2 to McCutchen.
Here it is again. And watch where he comes in and now plants his feet and wait. Now look where this ball is bouncing right here. If he was moving in a little bit, if he'd have had his feet in with that second line I drew, I think he would have been in a much better position to handle that.
I thought that was an equal sign.
Not equal to there.
Or 2/3 of an E. 1-2 to McCutchen. Roach has been on base 3 times without the benefit of a hit.
One of those situations, I think, where he let the ball play him instead of creating his own hop. He just took the hop that he was going to get, and it came up on him a little bit, and he was in a position where he couldn't react. You either want a long hop, which is just before the ball is about to hit the dirt, or the short hop, which is right after it's hit the dirt. You don't want in between. The reason the long hop is good is common sense. You get a long time to look at it, so if it did something funny that last bounce, you can make an adjustment.
Well, they call him the Riot in Chicago because his name Terrio. If you put the 2 words together, it spells the Riot. And McCutchen having a riot at the plate tonight. He's 2 for 2. Another single for Andrew McCutchen. Here's our AT&T trivia question last inning. And who holds the Pirates' all-time record for most strikeouts in a game?
What's that Candelaria, just to throw a name out? I have no idea.
Well, let's see. It is Bob Veal. 1965 against the Phillies.
Very hard thrower.
That's when they had Moose and Veal. All the food groups pitching that year. Jones with 2 on and nobody out. He is 2 for 2 with 3 runs batted in. Big start to his night. Chance for the Pirates to add on in the bottom of the 4th. 2-0. Jones facing Jeff Gray, 28-year-old from Phoenix. Gray comes over from the Oakland Athletics organization. He spent time between AAA Sacramento and Oakland the last 2 seasons. Had 24 appearances with the A's last year. That's a major league high for him. And ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
We haven't had too many of these kind of games, have we?
No. Garrett Jones last time around the bases. This one gets some runs scored.
Welcome to the time they can't get you.
Lastings Millers was right. They haven't been able to get him out tonight. Jones at first.
Now
conversations continue.
We've been great in the close games this year. I mean, that's just fantastic, our winning percentage. But usually the games that are lopsided, we've been on the wrong end. Well, it looks like we're going to be on the right end of one tonight. One big hit away from going double figures in our lead. It's still very early in the game.
Domit. Fair ball. Lee goes to second for 1. And they get Jones, but a run comes in. LaRoche will score. So they'll trade it out for 1 run there and make it an 8-0 ball game.
Now, when you're down by 7 runs, trading runs for outs is not doing you any good. That's really good for us. You're down by 7. This is no help. Yeah, you got an out, but you had to trade a run for it.
Brian Church, 1 out, runners at the corners. McCutcheon at third and Domit down there at first. Church waiting to get a hit. 0 for 2. Church is the only regular in the lineup who has not reached base. Brian Burris is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice, but Church 0 for 2. Three and 0, and a pitch away from loading him up.
After what's happened to us this year on quite a few occasions, I'd love to win a game in double figures, by double figures.
It would be nice. Domit goes down to second, and look at that number. How about that for a trend, Bob? 9-0 when leading after 4 innings. Well, it's an 8-0 lead and 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Pirates hope that trend continues.
Things are pointing to a victory. Yeah. Take the brooms out of the closet at least. Can't start using them yet. Get them ready.
You don't know where they are.
I'll get them ready.
Millage pulls this one foul past McCutcheon.
Who's out there on the bases besides McCutcheon?
He's there at third. Tony Beasley, the coach, and then Ryan Domit at second. And over at first, Brian Church.
That's who I thought was there.
Just wanted to make sure you knew. Millage a 2-run double in the first. Tried to go the other way.
Hit it down the line with some authority, but just hit it wide.
One out and the base is full. Jeff Gray in a tough spot for the Cubs. The pitch. And Millage has done a good job with runners on base, hitting .326. And has also done a good job hitting better than .300 with runners in scoring position. Bases full of Bucks in the 0-2.
Perhaps he tries to get a little too big when there's nobody on base and get home run conscious. Maybe tries to pull too much in those situations. One of the reasons you see that huge discrepancy there, and when there's runners on, he's thinking more, okay, just get a hit, get the ball back through the middle, go the other way.
Millage hammers one to left. This ball is back. It is gone off the top of the wall. McCutcheon scores. Domit right behind him.
We got a problem.
And Millage thought it was gone.
Yep.
And he's going to be tagged out. The fireworks went off. They thought it was gone. My apologies. I thought it was gone. It was right over the State Farm sign. And I'm not sure if a fan reached for it or not, but it looked like it had the distance to get out. I, for one, am very interested to see the replay.
Yeah, a lot of smiling going on. They'll be kidding him about it. I think it's going to go off the very top of the fence, perhaps. Hit the padding right above farm.
About as close as you can get to not hitting it out of the park. So that'll be a double. As he was tagged out rounding second. Got 2 runs in. It is now 10-0.
You see in that dugout, there's a lot of smiles, and there's going to be some good-natured ribbing going on because it's 10-0.
Yeah, but how often is it that
look at Andrew in the back?
The guy that hits the ball, the guy that hits the ball, the guy with his finger on the fireworks, and the TV announcer all get fooled on the same hit. Ramirez boots it. 11-0. Third error for the Cubs. Listen closely at this ball hit by Millage. You'll hear it hit the padding. He's got his arm up. He's already rung it up as his first home run. Fireworks are going, and next thing you know, he's out.
They will be all over him for a couple of days about that one. That was a couple of really good shots we had there of the dugout with the smiles and everything. I'm sure his real good buddy on the team, Andrew, he's not going to let him forget that.
Oh, no. 4 runs in the inning. Millage drove in half of them. Burris scrambles the far end of the dugout.
They're having fun in there tonight, aren't they?
That's a good thing.
Yes, it is. That's part of the game. Is you got to enjoy yourself out there. It's easy, of course, when you're winning. I don't think you'll see a lot of laughter going on in the Cubs dugout right now as they're about to be swept here at PNC.
Burris fouls this one away, stays alive. Ryan Burris of Troutdale, Oregon. Ontario will go to first. And he gets Burris. 4 more added on. Not a good night for Lou and the crew. At PNC. Well, Millage ignited some fireworks for a home run that wasn't. Thrillage in the Village for Lastings Millage. Steve Pierce is on to play first base.
Oh, where's our mic? Oh, there it is.
He's out on right field.
Can't lose our mic.
Well, he's out there. Top of the fifth.
Yeah,
and
there's no one to talk to out there.
to talk to himself.
Yeah, say something. Come on, Garrett.
Catcher Giovanni Soto, who walked his first time up. And important now, too, you'd think, Bob, for Brian Burris to go as long as he can and spare the bullpen, whatever he's able to do tonight. Because that has to be part of the focus of his job other than getting outs.
Right now, he's a 4-1 shutout and a big lead.
On the way. Well, the interesting play by Lastings Village. Let's listen to Garrett Jones on that.
Yeah. Get a ball. Rise. Get back.
Garrett was yelling, "Get back."
Just one more inch.
Well, he's looking for that first one. We were talking about it when he hit it. But, I think it's probably starting to wear on him a little bit. And when he gets up in those situations when there's nobody on base, he might be thinking, okay, get out early, pull the ball, try to hit a home run out of here. And I think he takes better at bats, has a little bit a better idea of what he's trying to do when there's runners in scoring position, and maybe that's why, or at least part of the reason why you see that big difference in his batting average with people on base when there's nobody on.
Ryan Church is in center field. Andrew McCutchen has left the ball game.
You're probably giving that ankle a little time off. It's 11-0, and Andrew did turn it over pretty good in L.A. No reason to keep him out there on it all night.
McCutchen certainly contributed 2 singles, a run batted in, and 2 runs scored, plus a sacrifice bunt. 1 out and 1 on for the Cubs. Mike Fontenot hitting. Fontenot hitting in the pitcher spot. And Bowman wants to go out and talk with Brian Burris here. 5 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 4 more in the fourth. Cardinals come in for 3 starting tomorrow night, followed by the Reds, as the Pirates enjoy some time home. One and 1 to Mike Fontenot. Fontenot hitting an even 300. 21 hits in 70 at bats. One pitch. Check swing. Watch it. Mike Fontenot out of LSU. Brian Terrio, who's on deck, also out of LSU. Teammates in the national championship squad there, although they played opposite positions. Fontenot played short, Terrio second. 1-2. To first base. Pierce backhands, throws to second for 1. Back to first. Didn't get it. Good start to the double play, but they didn't complete it.
It looked like a nice feed by Pierce. Oh, yeah, chest high right over the bag. Good return throw, and boy, if Pierce had his foot on the bag, he should have been out. Was his foot on the bag?
Looked like it.
The throw definitely was there in time. Not sure what happened with the call.
Well, Ryan Terrio.
Did it look like the ball beat him?
It did.
Yeah. You know, I thought when I was looking down and watching it live that it got there in time, but the replay, I definitely think it was there in time watching that.
Been an optical illusion?
Could have been. But I'm wondering now if excuse me, Maybe Steve did have the foot off the base an inch or so. Couldn't find it trying to get back.
Jones tracks that one down for the final out of the Cubs' fifth. We're halfway home at PNC Park. Brian Burris and the Bucks cruising along 11-0. Garcia and Karstens on Saturday, Wainwright and Maholm Sunday afternoon on Mother's Day. Game summary, 11-0 Pirates, and it's been all Bucks. Jones has driven in 3, Millage has driven in 4, and been tagged out in perhaps a way he's never been tagged out in his career. Andrew McCutchen 2 for 2, he is done for the night. 5-run first off Randy Wells, got it all started. And Russell, a bit relieved, obviously, having a kind of big lead at this point.
Relax tonight. Sit back and enjoy this one.
Pirates will face a new pitcher, left-hander James Russell. No relation to the skipper. Aki Iwamura batting for the 4th time tonight. There's one down.
I was thinking about that when Burris was hitting in the 4th. You asked me about hitting in the 1st, but that's a nice feeling too. Hitting for the 3rd time in the 4th inning. You know your team is putting up some numbers for you.
Well, and in 3 of the 4 times that Aki has gone to the plate tonight, he has led off the inning 3 times.
Well, that's where you want your leadoff man hitting, leading off.
Andy LaRoche scored 3 runs already in the ballgame. He's walked twice and reached on an error by the shortstop Terrio. He wouldn't mind a hit right now. Facing James Russell, 6'4", 200 pounds. Great state of Texas. He's 24 years of age. Just his 10th big league appearance. And Andy smashes one to center. Marlon Byrd almost overran it.
Oh, very hard. I think maybe it could have knuckled a little bit or something. I don't know. He was definitely on his horse heading for the gap, and then had to throw on the brakes and reach back, caught it over his left shoulder.
Marlon Byrd can make things interesting sometimes in the outfield. Steve Pearce batting for the first time tonight at Wrigley Field in the series against Arizona over the weekend. He got caught up staring into the sun and without seeing the ball somehow made the catch. It was really remarkable, and you probably saw it on the highlight reels.
It's kind of like he might be a Jedi.
Could be.
You know,
Force was with him.
Yeah, he could be a Jedi.
This is what it looked like. Marlon, feel the force. He can't see it. He doesn't know where it is. Hello.
Oh, he's a Jedi. Come on. You don't make that play unless you're a Jedi. That's it. He gave it away right there.
Secret's out.
Trained by Yoda.
Yoda Berra. Steve Pearce in his second big league game here in 2010 did well in AAA. Earned himself a promotion. Started last night in game 2. And he strikes out here to end the 5th. On to the 6th we go. Pirates in front 11-0. Right there. He thinks it's gone. Fireworks guy thinks it's gone. I thought it was gone. That's tonight's Freeze Cam, brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Burris facing Marlon Byrd. Top half of the 6th inning. 11 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Pirates. For the Cubs, no runs, 2 hits, 3 errors.
Yeah, think about what he did with the Dodgers, Burris. With a 5 1/3 innings against L.A. Nothing but zeros up. Just gave up 4 hits.
Now look what the Parrots got going on here. He says, the sign says he's an imposter and that he's a real bird. The parrot suggesting he's a real bird.
He's a fake bird.
See? Right now he's a mockingbird. It's a bird's dream to have an opposing player named Bird. Well, it should be B-I-R-D, but as long as it sounds the same, the parrot is okay with it.
He doesn't know if he's a fish or a bird. Could be a marlin, you know.
They're playable for you more. And he got him.
1-4-3. Burris slows it down for him a little bit, doesn't he? Just a little. Nice job. Half a step. Just get a piece of it. Yeah, he actually kind of deflected it a little bit over on that side of the bag. Gave Aki the shot at it.
The Bird had his wings clipped. Derek Lee 0 for 2. Burris struck him out in the first and then got him to the line to Lasting's millage and left in the third.
Well, look at Burris' stat line the last 2 starts. Put those together. It's not too bad.
Well, he held the Dodgers scoreless.
He's working on his 11th scoreless inning, giving up a total of just 6 hits in those 11 innings. No runs. He's trying to make a statement. Wants to keep that job as the 5 starter.
Burris pitched for Toronto 2 games last year, had 2 starts.
Thought he was a Bird.
Blue Jay. And then prior to that, he thought he
wants to be a Bird.
He was an Oriole. He was with the Baltimore Orioles for parts of 3 seasons. Made his big league debut in 2006.
Where was he born? Oregon, right? Isn't that where he's from?
Troutdale. Well, he was born in Oregon City, but
he thinks he's a Duck. Birds everywhere.
Unless he went to Oregon State, then he'd be a Beaver. But you're right. I agree. You're following the theme rather well. Now, Chris Jakubauskas in the dugout wearing a helmet. Earlier in the game, there was a foul ball shot over that way, and it almost got him, so he's donned a helmet. He is still on the disabled list after being struck in the head by a Lance Berkman line drive in Houston on the most recent road trip. Lee walks. And still on the disabled list for Jakubauskas and not taking any chances tonight. He's got the helmet on in the dugout.
Him has an ear flap.
Well, that's the side. He's facing home plate with that side, so can't be too careful. Xavier Nady. High in the air to right center field. Ryan Church. Turn the corner. 2 outs. Carlos Ramirez 0 for 2. He's flat out twice. Once to right, once to center. I think Ryan Church must like how things are going right now, Bob, because he's getting a lot of at-bats, a lot of time on the field.
Oh, yeah. But he knows what the situation is coming over here. That the Pirates, they have some prospects that they're going to play. They're going to find out things about. But saying that, he is a known commodity. And the way the team was struggling to get runs on the board this last road trip, and he was hitting the ball pretty well. He's out there more and more. I mean, it's not unexpected, I don't think. You got to get some offense out there.
To left, and Lasting's millage will wait.
Just, I think, 81, 82 pitchers or so for Burris.
Here at PNC Park, I don't think that man's having a lot of fun. Lou Piniella, skipper of the Cubs, 11-0 Pirates. Moving to the bottom of the 6th inning with Bob Walk, Tim Neverett. Ryan Burris having some fun so far. And here's Garrett Jones. He'd like to add to his hit total. 2 for 2. 3 runs batted in. He now has an even 20 on the season.
But he's in the outfield, quiet. When you talk to blades of grass.
If he gets on first base, he'll have a conversation with
that's
Derek Lee.
Yeah, we do. We have to root for a single.
Lee's a talker. He'll talk with him.
Hey, all first basemen they're even if they're not talkers, if they've been out there for a while, they've been around, they become talkers. You have to.
Ramos Ramirez will retire Jones, 1 down. And at first base, where Jones started the night, he was able to strike up a conversation.
I didn't time it good. I kind of like, those ones where like he doesn't square it up. You're like,
Yeah.
You like kind of jump right away and then you're jelly legged.
Wait till everything thinks it's missiles. You're like,
Now, I know exactly what he was talking about there. That happens to pitchers occasionally too. The ball is hit and you see it coming back at you, and you're all in panic mode, trying to throw up all kinds of defensive moves and everything, and it just never gets there. And you realize it's just a change up, and it's barely hit back to you, and it's just fighting to stay airborne as it gets to you. Plenty of time to make the catch, but all you're worried about is covering up so you don't get hit. That's happens to the infielders too. They get fooled by the lack of speed and jump too soon, and they try to hang up there.
That one hangs up for Marlon Byrd, and Goldman is gone here in the 6th. Baseball fans, you can visit FSNinsider.com right now to register for the Make Your Day giveaway. One lucky winner per month will receive a Day Automotive FSN Baseball Prize Pack. So be sure to sign up now for the monthly drawing at FSNinsider.com. Those guys will do it when they get home. Or they can do it from their phones.
Yeah.
2 down. Ryan Church is still looking for a hit. He did walk and score in the 4th.
Everybody has those smartphones nowadays. Not much you can't do sitting at the ball game.
Popped him up. Derek Lee will get underneath it. And it's an easy inning for the left-hander James Russell and the Cubs as the Pirates go down in order. Text me.
and is going to get his second win in the last 2 starts.
Ross Ollendorf has made his way back to Pittsburgh after a rehab stint.
Very successful rehab stint. He'll be back in that rotation shortly.
Pitched in Bradenton, and he pitched for Altoona against the Richmond Flying Squirrels. And he struck out a bunch of flying squirrels last night, so that was good enough. And he's ready to go again. Well, tell me what Brian Burris is going through here, Bob, because, again, the score the way it is, does it matter to him if it's 1-0 or 11-0?
Yeah, it does. It makes it much easier to pitch right now, 11-0. But he is also thinking about this shutout. But, you know, everything is not so crucial. It's like the shutout right now would be, you know, one of the things I like to say, frosting on the cake. I mean, he's already got his cake. It's very good. It's a layer cake. It's not frosted at all. He's trying to get some nice frosting on it.
Ryan Church is going to watch this one go off the wall. Giovanni Soto is in with a double.
Whoa, I thought maybe that was going to go into the bullpen.
Third hit for the Cubs.
Let's take a look at it again, and just right down the middle. You know, if it's 1-0, as you asked, Tim, it's tough to make pitches like that. You know, every pitch you make, especially now we're in the last 3 innings of the game, has got to be perfect. You're looking at hitting this spot and that spot. Whereas 11-0, you're just trying to throw strikes. You're trying to get real quick outs. You're hoping for those 1-2 pitch outs, keep your pitch count down so you can complete the ball game. And he's been doing that pretty well so far. That's number 87 right there. He threw at 77. So the pitch count is not any big problem. He could get through 8 innings probably fairly easily. But then that 8 innings, he's going to be up around 110. And nowadays, they don't like you to go much over 110, 115. Especially real early in the year. And this is still relatively early in the season.
That used to take you about 110 to warm up, didn't it? Way back when. Tyler Colvin will come out on deck. Baker takes ball 1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Giovanni Soto at second base. Top half of the 7th inning. And Burris delivers, and that one just low. 2-1. Baker drafted by the Rockies and came up with them. Actually found himself as an opening day starter a few years ago. He was expected to be in Double-A. Due to some injuries with the big club. Bad timing for them, good for him. Ground ball to third. Roach throws him out, and there are 2 away. Let's check out what is happening in the minor leagues as we look at our easy-to-use.com minor league connection. Pedro Alvarez over his last 5 games in AAA, 421.
That's what we like to see right there.
And how about Jose Tabata leading the league, 12 stolen bases and 35 hits. Neil Walker 4th in the league with 58 total bases, no errors, and he's been playing all over the place.
All over the place, yeah.
So the Indians ahead of Buffalo tonight.
So Pedro Alvarez, off to a slow start with that batting average. Kind of, I guess, what he did last year a little bit, and was able to get things figured out, turn it on, and finished a great summer. And hopefully that's what we're going to see here this year. And his finish to his summer will probably be right here in front of us.
It's a long season.
Yep.
And we can see.
We're only in that 6 months long, and we just have started the 2nd month. So lots going to happen.
1-0 to Colvin. 2 balls and no strikes. Colvin, a first rounder, selected by the Cubs, 13th overall in 2006. Out of North Augusta, South Carolina. Two and one.
North Augusta.
Yes, that'd be North Augusta, South Carolina.
I guess if you were in South Augusta, you would be in Georgia.
You'd be in North Carolina. South Augusta. I'm just kidding, but yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
you'd be in
Georgia. You'd be in Augusta, Georgia.
You'd be in North Georgia. Bounces away from Doman and down to third goes Soto.
Oh, didn't stick in the glove.
And Colvin, like Xavier Nady, also underwent Tommy John surgery. He did it in November of 2008, so he was able to get back last year after missing a good portion of time in the offseason to get ready after the 08 season, but started in A-ball and played in Double-A and went right past Des Moines, which is their Triple-A club, the Iowa Cubs, and they're ranked to the big leagues for 6 games after they called him up in September. That one is a foul ball.
Ran that one right in on the fingertips.
I guess.
Now this is a jam shot. Deep in the kitchen. See, the plate, if you look at it, it's shaped like a house, and it has a back door for the curveball and a kitchen for the fastball in the hands. I'm guessing that's why they
got indoor plumbing
call
and everything.
it back door and kitchen, because it looks like a house. Otherwise, I have no explanation why those terms came about. Like the kitchen, any kind of a ball in on your hands is like you're in on the kitchen. You know, you get your kitchen probably right over in here. Now, if it comes in over here, well, that's where the back door is. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go.
So then,
my erase button is kind of shaky sometimes.
3-2 pitch. That is
beautiful. Beautiful.
In through the outdoor.
Yeah, that was right out by the living room.
Strike 3. It is stretch time. Middle of the 7th. semifinals come in. Game 1 of a 3-game set. Pirates and St. Louis, and you walk out with that great cap as well. Brian Burris gets the strikeout of Colvin. Comes in and gets knuckles and high fives. And everybody's excited about his night of work. Brian Burris has had 2 outstanding outings back to back.
Yeah, Pirates being very conservative, it looks like. Just kind of get him out of there after 90-some pitches. But, man, has he got to be happy.
Hasn't given up a run in his last 2 outings. No, can't do much better than that. Justin Berg to face Lastings Millage.
Far a no-hitter out there. That's the only thing you can do. Throwing a 3-hitter tonight. 3-hit shutout through 7. Big lead. He did exactly to the letter what you're supposed to do. That team goes out there and gives you that big early cushion. You use it. You fill up the strike zone. You keep your pitch count down. You let those guys get themselves out. Good curveball tonight. Got that haircut. You think that's what did it, Tim?
I think so. It's always something. It's never really the athlete. It's always the things they do.
Exactly.
How they wear their hair.
Yep. Right. Sure. What kind of, how many days in a row you wear the same socks?
Yeah, Lastings Millage changed his shoes, and he's having an interesting night.
You don't want to take any chances. You never admit that you're superstitious, but it's just good to be safe.
Leadoff walk to Millage. Fans drive the lane for the 20th annual Harmarville Hoops Classic, Saturday, June 19th. It's Pittsburgh's biggest 3-on-3 basketball tournament and benefits the Hope Network. Sign your team up to play now. For more information, click on FSNinsider.com today. Ronnie Cedeno takes high and in from Justin Berg. Javier Lopez getting warmed up. There's a strike, 1-1. Justin Berg out of Antigua, Wisconsin. Midwesterner, 6'3" and 230. Delwyn Young's got a bat. So he's going to come out and hit. At least it appears as such. And Cedeno shoots one to right field, but there to make the play is Xavier Nady. So Brian Burris will be done. He will have 2 very good outings. Certainly, you look back against the Dodgers, 5 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball, and here 7 innings tonight, back to back.
Definitely looks like he's earned another one, huh? How can you not keep running him out there?
He's been a pleasant surprise.
The haircut.
And you see Jeff Karsten's standing next to him on the right. Not that Jeff hasn't done a bad job either. Jeff's done a fine job and has earned the right to compete for a spot. But Burris, based on his last 2 outings, has done spectacularly well. And Delwyn Young gets a base hit to left. Pinch hit single for DY. And the Pirates, with 1 out, have 2 men aboard for Aki Uemura.
Did get Aki on the board. There's that 2 outings you're talking about and put everything together. 12 and 3rd inning, 7 hits. Not too shabby.
Aki without a hit tonight, but he scored twice, reached in an error in the second, walked in the first. Flied out and grounded out. Kind of a mixed bag for him, but looking to get a base hit. Bottom of the 7th. And he goes to left field. Soriano going back, and he makes the grab. And Millage and Delwyn Young will retreat to their respective bases.
Oh, that looked interesting off the bat. He had hit it hard enough maybe to get it over Soriano's head. He was playing real shallow, not respecting the the opposite field pop that we've seen Aki have. And he might be able to hit a ball further to left field than he does to right, although after watching him in batting practice today, I'm not so sure about that, as he was hitting them over the stands.
We're sitting up here well before the game watching the Pirates hit, and he hit one over the right field stands that had to maybe bounce once and go in the Allegheny River. Then the next pitch, he hits it in the top of the stands, and those are balls he's just pulling with ease. He's got the tools. It just hasn't translated into a batting average for him. He's had some quality at bats. He's reached base. I mean, tonight he's 0 for 4, but I guess if you're going to say you're going to be an effective 0 for 4, it means you scored 2 runs, which he's done. Nobody wants to be 0 for 4.
Yeah, especially on a night where the offense is clicking. You want to be a part of that hit parade, and the fact that you got to get your batting average up. Tonight, tough for him. Although the Pirates only have 9 hits as a team. They've got them all at the right time, though, and there's been some big hits.
2-1 pitch from Bird. 3-1 to Andy LaRoche. Andy's average at 320 currently. And he walks. Bases are loaded for Steve Pearce.
Pearce also without a hit, but he came in late. McCutcheon left the ball game a couple innings back. Pierce went to first. Church to center. Jared Jones out to right.
Larry Rothschild having a word with Justin Bird. Voting is now open for the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. Help send your favorite Pirates to this year's All-Star Game by voting up to 25 times at Pirates.com. Visit Pirates.com and cast your ballot now for your 2010 All-Stars. Vote early, vote often, vote today, and maybe even vote for Andy LaRoche at Pirates.com.
Yeah,
he's had that type of start to the season.
Yeah, good start to the season. Well up in the 300s. Playing outstanding defense. Catching just about everything down at third.
Steve Pearce would like a hit. Base is full. Takes a strike on the outside corner.
Get him on the up on some RBIs. At least a couple if he can come up with a single.
Hit .349 with 12 doubles in 23 games at AAA.
And he was extremely hot hitter coming up.
Terrio backhand stab, and they get LaRoche at second base. On to the 8th. 11-0 Pirates. Wood on the baseball tonight. Driven in 3. Columbia Gas 811 call to the pen has been made. And here is Mr. Lopez. Owen Young is at second base. He remains in the game in the 9th spot on the order. Lopez goes to Iwamora's spot. Behind the plate, Jason Jaramillo gives Ryan Doumit the rest of the night off. Appearances for the lefty. This being his 12th. Facing Ryan Theriot.
Pretty routine in games like this that you start pulling your starters out with a couple innings left. Get them in the clubhouse.
Theriot with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He takes a strike. That's a good angle if you're Lopez. Tough angle if you're the hitter Theriot. When Lopez comes from the side like that and throws that dart that cuts across the plate.
It can't be real easy to pick up the ball. Odd delivery. Really hides it.
Lopez will throw him out. 1 away. How about our Home Depot doing more on defense? Andy LaRoche involved again. How about this play? Using the glove and using the arm. Retiring Xavier Nady. And Andy LaRoche subject. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
We're going to have to nickname him the Carpenter. He's Home Depot every night, just about. The Carpenter.
To the gap in right center. Marlon Byrd will have a double. That's his first hit of the night.
How about Andy the Hammer?
Andy the Hammer?
Andy the Hammer. Yeah, Home Depot hammers.
Well, think about it. There's a lot of possibilities.
Yep.
Fourth hit for the Cubs. And Derek Lee walked his last time up. And a strike.
Off to an awful slow start by his standards. Just a .219 batting average and 4 home runs.
And here's a guy that had contended for the Triple Crown at one point in his career. Garrett
can make that one. Yep.
Make that play easily. And they are now 2 away. Certainly frustrating for Derek Lee and the Cubs. And his reaction might say it all.
They have all this right-hand hitting firepower on the team. They're not used to struggling against lefties like they are. But they, nothing but a 0 up there tonight. 4 hits. Not a happy team. Be a quiet bus ride out to the airport after this one. Where are the Cubbies headed anyway? They got a long flight tonight or a short one?
Short one. Over to Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah. There's
night game tomorrow.
Up and down.
Chilly in the afternoon and then a game.
Yeah. You love that chili, don't you?
It's not bad.
Oh, it's your favorite.
They gave it to us in Milwaukee.
You love that stuff.
Nady to center. Long run for Church. Church is going to watch it go off the wall, and the Cubs get on the board. Bird will score, and Xavier Nady drives in a run.
There goes the shutout. The fans not happy. I don't hear boos much when you're up 11-1, but they wanted to see the shutout. The ball was hit very hard. The only question here was it going to be a home run or not? Right up at the top of the wall.
Well, nobody's more disappointed than Javier Lopez.
No.
Still a bit of a cushion, and they know it.
Yeah, this one's pretty much in the bank. A 10-run lead. And we just got to get 4 more outs. I think they can handle that. Why are they smiling?
Well, they're not going to be singing "Go Cubs Go" tonight, unless they're saying "Go away." Chance for Jaramillo. And it's in the seats.
Thought he might have it when he got rid of the mask. I thought maybe he had a shot at it. Reverse the curse.
Well, that worked in Boston, but it has not worked for Chicago.
That's too bad. Yep, this is one of my favorite organizations.
That looks like a lot of the long faces you see on opening day at Wrigley. She should be smiling. Okay.
She must have had an earpiece. She heard you. Oh, well, wearing the black and gold, though, very proudly there.
0-2 to Ramirez. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, the Cubs have been up and down. And you go back to the 17th of April, pretty early in the season, and they lost 4 games in a row from April 17th to the 20th. Won 4 in a row from the 23rd to the 26th. Lost 3 games in a row. Then won 3 in a row. And now, after tonight, we'll lose another 3 in a row. Jones puts it away. That'll do it for the Cubs in the 8th. So Lopez gives up the run. Pirates still with a 10-run cushion. That's driven right. And that was a 2-run homer. And this was last night, a solo shot. Both had a big hand in the outcome. That's the Cold Hard Blasts ×2. Brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Garrett Jones, Jason Jaramillo will follow, hitting for Ryan Dolan and Ryan Church. And Jones facing John Graybo, longtime Pirate. Last year traded to the Cubs. And back with Chicago this year. John, a veteran left-hander.
It'd be odd for guys like John, who's come up with an organization, spent a long time, and then you come back and you pitch in that same ballpark.
Well, he had to do it for the first time toward the end of last season.
I'm sure it's still a little odd for him to come in here and have to sit in the visitor's bullpen. Get off a bus here or a cab instead of pulling into the player's lot.
Jones pokes that one foul. What was strange last year is when we went to Wrigley Field for the first time after the trade and saw John wearing Cubs blue. It was an odd color on him at the time after seeing him in the black and gold of the Pirates for so many years. 2-2. And this is down to second. One away in the bottom half of the eighth. Tom Gorzolani, another longtime Pirate. Member of that starting rotation for the Cubs. And for Tom, it was a good new start for him, I think, because he was up and down between AAA and the major leagues. And since the trade, he's been with the big club.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a different situation with Tom. I think he needed a little change of venue. There's certain situations where that's a good thing for both the organization and the player to go somewhere, start over.
One and one. And what about for a catcher like Jason Jaramillo? I see DJ Carrasco listening up. But he was a guy who caught him all through spring training, and now you got to face him. And you know the guys pretty well that you've caught. And you think you might feel a little more comfortable facing a guy that you've caught a number of innings for.
Yeah, I agree. I always thought about that the opposing catcher, if it's somebody that you've thrown to over the years, I mean, he's got to have a pretty good idea of what you're all about. But you know what? If you've been paying attention to the games while you've been sitting over on the bench in between starts, you got a pretty good idea what they're all about too when they're at the plate. You know their strengths, their weaknesses. That's a two-way street.
Ryan Church facing John Graybo. Well, Tom Gorzolani, we wish he and his wife Lindsay the best of luck. They're expecting their first child, baby boy. Due date is May 17th. And that's just after the Pirates are in Chicago. And Tom expecting to pitch on the 14th against the Bucks. So I wish Tom and Lindsay good luck. Church, 2-game homer streak going. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ryan, a walk and a run scored tonight. Otherwise 0 for 3. Here comes the 1-2. That's a tapper down to second base. And a 1-2-3 inning for John Graybo. We go to the 9th.
misunderstood. I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
It's Twin Cities Joe you're talking about. Come on now.
Oh, he's not a heel. He's not a heel. Come on.
Yeah. Well played, Mauer. 11-1. That's where we are. Top
yes,
of the ninth
this
inning.
has been very well played.
DJ
well played,
Carrasco.
Pirates.
Yeah, there you go. DJ Carrasco trying to mop up or sweep up, if you will.
Yeah, this is a sweep up here.
And it's time to break him out, Alfonso Soriano.
This is the dustpan inning.
It's time to get 3. And a big cut and a miss for strike 2. She came prepared. They came prepared.
Oh, throws everywhere. Like it.
And Soriano down on strikes for the second time. Alfonso will finish 1 for 4.
Good breaking ball. Soriano. Wild swing and a miss. That bat of his looks huge.
It is huge. Soto blasts this one to the north side notch.
2 in a row he's hit over there.
And he'll stop at second with a double. 2 doubles for Giovanni Soto. A stat patter here in the 9th. Coming up following the game, it is Pirates post game. And although the closer was not needed tonight, our closer in studio will be Kent Tekulve. They'll break everything down, show you the highlights. That's coming up immediately after this one on Pirates post game.
A lot of highlights to show on this one. Good pitching, good hitting. A couple nice plays on defense.
Jeff Baker fouls it away.
A couple humorous plays.
Yeah. The night tonight, though, Bob, I think really, in spite of the double-digit run total, belongs to Brian Burns.
Oh, yeah. What if 3-hit shutout through 7 innings to double up on his good work he did in Los Angeles, where he threw nothing but shutout innings?
Which is low to Jeff Baker, 1-1. Pirates looking to sweep their second series of the season. They swept Cincinnati on the 16th through the 18th here. And it will be the first 3-game sweep of the Cubs
What are we
since 2006.
What are we against the Central now, our own division? Just put us above 500. I don't have my glasses on, but
Yes, it would. 8-7.
very good. Good win tonight.
Cards coming in, knocking on the door. Chris Carpenter, Zach Duke. Tremendous pitching matchup tomorrow. And Cincinnati with 3 after that. Thank Garrett Jones for his participation tonight, wearing a microphone for us. The night he had, he probably won't mind doing it again.
Might want to make that a regular thing. He gave us some good stuff tonight.
Carrasco strikes out Baker. And let's check in with Garrett Jones just one more time on a mic'd up night.
I just feel like I'm going up to everything. Everything's like, instead of just like, just right there.
Tipping that back shoulder a little bit.
And Corey Hill will be the pinch hitter, batting in the 9th spot. He's the last guy on the bench. Kosuke Fukudome hasn't been used. Fans up, and the brooms are up. One.
Nice glove save by Hermio.
DJ Carrasco has been used in all kinds of roles, including the role tonight. Went to John Russell not long ago when the Pirates were having injury problems and wondering how to piece together the rotation, and offered to start. Said, if you need me, I'll start for you. To right field, and Jones has it. And the Pirates sweep the Cubs.
Oh, what a great start to this homestand. The team has played much better at home. Last year and early on this season, kind of a tough road trip. And you come back, it's almost a must thing to get the ball rolling early. And can you do anything better than a sweep in the first series? And you got to tip your hat to the starting pitching in this series for the Pirates. And it really was capped off night with the job that Burris did, going out and throwing up all those zeros. Fabulous. This team is a different club when the starters pitch well. It's amazing.
Outstanding work tonight.